Mystical agriculture is a mod that allows you to make crops of any materials, which you can farm it infinitely. And also, it adds a really strong gear that has really strong passives. And I recommend anyone to play Mystical Agriculture with a mod that allows you to see recipes. To get into Mystical Agriculture, you will need Prosperity Chart. To get Prosperity Chart, you will need to mine Prosperity Ore. Also, you will need Inferium Essence, and to get Inferium Essence, you can get it by killing mobs, or you can get it by mining Inferium Ore. Now that you have your Inferium Essence, that will be tier 1 of Essence. There are 5 different tiers, and you can upgrade your Inferium to the next tier. To upgrade your Inferium Essence, you will need Infusion Crystal. To make one, you will need 4 Inferium Essence, 4 Prosperity Chart, and 1 diamond in the center. That will give you Infusion Crystal. You put 4 of your Inferium Essence, and that will give you your next essence. So you put 4 of any essence, the infusion in the middle, that will give you your next tier. So there are 5 tiers, starting with Inferium Essence and finishing with Supremium Essence. Now, you can make a better infusion crystal, which is called the Master Infusion Crystal. That's infinite. You can use it for infinite amount of times, and you will need 4 Supremium Essence, 4 Prosperity Chart, and 1 diamond in the middle. So it's the same recipe, but the difference is the Essence tier, which is 5, the Supremium. In order to make seeds of any material, you will need crafting seed, and to make crafting seed you will need basic crafting seed. To make basic crafting seed you will need 1 seed in the middle and 4 prosperity chart. And you can upgrade your basic crafting seed into normal crafting seed, which is tier 1. So tier 1 you will need Inferium Essence, and you can upgrade your tier 1 to tier 2 up to tier 5, which is Supremium Essence. And you have like tier 1, tier 2, 3 and 4 and 5. Now there are a lot of materials you can turn into seeds, so you like have diamond seed and other than that. But there's one important seed that you will have to make. It's called Inferium seed, because the whole mod is depending on Inferium Essence, so you will need more of Inferium Essence. And to make your Inferium seed, you will need 4 Inferium, 8 Inferium, and 1 seed in the middle, and that will make you Inferium seed. That's tier 1. You can take the tier 1 and upgrade it to tier 2 by putting it under Brillium Essence all around it, and that will give you tier 2. And you have tier 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. And basically, the higher the tier is, the more Inferium Essence that you will get, and the faster the crops will grow. Now, there is one very important thing that you will need to make in Mystical Agriculture, which is called Growth Accelerator. Since the whole mod is since everything you want to farm are basically crops and they take so long to grow, you will need Growth Accelerator. And to make a Growth Accelerator, you will need a block of Inferium Essence. And to make a block, you just need 9 Inferium Essence all around, and that will make you a block of Inferium. And to make your Growth Accelerator, you will need 4 blocks of Inferium Essence, 4 stone, and 1 diamond in the center, and that will make you Growth Accelerator. And the way you use your Growth Accelerator is that you put it under the grass, under the dirt where you have your crops above it. Here, the thing is, the more Growth Accelerator you have under one dirt, is the faster the crops are. But here's the thing: if you have a lot of Growth Accelerator under one, the multiplication of how faster it will go isn't that big. So if I have so many Growth Accelerator, that's not that good. But if you have so many Growth Accelerator and so many crops, and you have more crops, that will be a lot faster. You get more materials. For making seeds of materials, so for example, making diamond seed, so you will need Supremium Essence, a 5 tier crafting, and a diamond. Since diamond is very expensive and useful, it will be high tier, and the recipes of each seed will be different. It's basically you will use the material on the corners, the essence, and the crafting in the middle, and it will change depending on how valuable the material is. And you just simply you can just simply plant your seeds normally. Now, the higher the tier of the seed is, for example, tier 5 diamond seed, that will be very hard to grow. And to grow such thing, you will need Growth Accelerator, a lot of Growth Accelerator. Without them, it will take forever to grow. Now, for mobs, To make mobs into seeds, you will need something called a psyllium dagger, and to make that, you will need soulstone. So you will need soulstone, and to make soulstone, you will need 4 soul sand, 5 stone, and that will get you soulstone. And burning soulstone in a furnace will get you soul dust. So soul stone get you soul dust, and you use the soul dust to make psyllium dust. So you'll need essence tier 2 and the soul dust that will get you psyllium dust. And to if you put psyllium dust in a furnace, that will get you psyllium ingot. And using those ingots, you will make your dagger. So you will need first sticks, and in mystical agriculture, you will use mystical sticks. And to make your mystical sticks, you will need a stick and 4 prosperity shard, and that will make you your stick. And you put 1 stick, 2 psyllium ingot, and that will make you your dagger, psyllium dagger. And with the idea here is that you need to kill mobs with that dagger. So if I kill cows here with the dagger, that's okay. Okay, yeah, here. Can I get this, please? Please. Okay, I got cow chunk. The idea here is that I can use the chunks of the mobs that drop in and making them into seeds, and those seeds will give me the material of that mob. But also, here's the thing: you don't have to go kill every mob, so some mobs will be hard to kill. So instead of go killing those mobs, you can make their chunk. The idea, so you can put in a furnace any chunk that you have and burn it, and that will give you the mob chunk, same tier of the same chunk. So since cow chunk is tier 2, that will give me mob chunk tier 2, and you can always upgrade that chunk. So you have mob chunk tier 2, you can upgrade it to tier 3, and you can keep it going using the right essence. So you have tier 1 up to tier 5. Now I have all the tiers. I have all the tiers. You can turn those tiers again to add chunk. So if I want to make zombie seeds, I need zombie chunk first. So I put the chunk in the middle and rotted flesh all around it, and that will make me a zombie chunk. Now using the chunk, you can make your zombie seeds. And to make your zombie seeds, you will need 4 inferior medicine, a crafting seed in the middle, tier 1, since that's a tier 1 seed, and 4 zombie chunk. And you can just plant it normally, and that will get you your zombie crops. To make armors and weapons and tools of mystical agriculture, you will need ingots of mystical agriculture. And to make those ingots, you will need basic essence ingot. And to make that, you will need 4 prosperity shard and 1 iron ingot in the middle. And using that basic ingot, you can upgrade it to the first tier, which is inferium ingot. And you use 2 inferium essence and 1 basic essence ingot in the middle, at the top left. And that will get you your first tier. And you can upgrade it to a supremium ingot. Now, to make weapons in Mystic Agriculture, you will need some weapons or tools. You will need tool core. And to make your tool core, recipe changes for each tool core. So you will need the tier of the essence will always be on the corners, and in the middle it will be the previous core. For the first one, you will use the basic one, and 4 flint and 1 iron ingot at the top, and that will make you inferium tool core. And you see you start with inferium and you finish with supremium. Now if you want to make the strongest weapon from mystical agriculture, which is the supremium sword, you will need 1 mystical stick, 1 tool core, and 1 supremium ingot, and that will make you your supremium sword. Now for the armor, you will need something called armor core to make any part of the armor, and that will be your basic essence ingot in the middle, 3 leather, 1 gold, and 4 inferium essence, and that will make you your 2 armor core. That's tier 1, and you can upgrade it reaching tier 5, which is supreme. And now I'll make the strongest armor. The recipe is always the same. The difference is gonna be the core tier and the ingot tier or the essence tier that you're gonna use. Now to make your armor is gonna be the same recipe of a normal armor using those materials, but the difference is that you're gonna put the core in the center, and that will make you your armor. And your helmet is gonna be the same, but the core is here. Your leggings, and finally the boots. And here's the an armor from Mystical Agar isn't like any armor you've built before, because this armor will give you passive just by wearing a full set of Supremium, or a full set of anything will give you passive. So you start from the Inferium and you finish with Supremium. And if you're wearing a Supremium set, that will give you all the passive that you get from any set of Mystical Agriculture. You have water breathing, you can get creative flight by wearing a Supremium armor. So I'm wearing the Supremium armor and I can basically creative flight, which is very strong. The last thing we're gonna talk about the Mystical Agriculture charms, and you add those charms to your Inferium armor, and those charms are basically passive that will be added to your Inferium armor to make it stronger. And to make a charm, you will need to make a blank charm first, which is prosperity charms and one lapis lazuli in the middle. And you can make a lot of charms. I'm gonna go through only one recipe, and the remaining ones you can find them using a recipe mod as I recommended from the beginning. And to make your resistant charm, you will need to make Inferium apples tier 4. You need gonna make apple tier 4. And to make your apples, you start with your Inferium, which is basically you put Inferium essence and one apple in the center. That will make you Inferium apple, and you can upgrade it. And those Inferium apples are like golden apples, but they're just much stronger. And to make your charm of resistance, you will need Supreme SN and Supreme Apple, and you just put 4 and 4 and a charm in the middle. That will make you your resistant. Now this part Tinker players will be familiar with. You will need to make a tinkering table. So you will need 4 ingots and 3 soul stone and 1 crafting table. And the idea here is that you get your, so the way that you put your charm into your armor is that you go to your tinkering table, you put your armor in the middle, you put 3 prosperity charm and the charm you wanna install in your piece of armor or weapon or tool, and 4 supremium essence, and that will make your armor. And now I have resistance. Basically I have 20% resistance of damage. There are a lot of different charms. So you have night vision, you have observation, which makes you gives you 8 hours every 10 minutes, immunity to weather, immunity to poison, fire, resistant, damage 1, damage 2, speed, jump boost. The miner's vision basically puts some torches around you in mines. Rainbow that basically makes chips have different colors of wool. Quick draw, triple shot, and the AoE. Those are AoE ones are very hard to make. You will need a lot of materials, but they make your weapons have AoE effect. So you have the pickaxe, the sword, your hoe, and there's a lot of cheers and reaping, and last thing is slice. And that's it for mystical agriculture.